Now in today's session, we will be understanding how do we work with a new concept that is inheritance. What exactly the inheritance is and how do we work with that inheritance. That part we will be understanding. Generally, what is meant by inheritance? Tell me. What is meant by inheritance? Suraj, okay, don't worry. Might be this is the first session, right? No, not like that. Arif, do you know that optional parameter or else like constructor, default parameter? All these you know already in TypeScript. Number type, string type, Boolean type. I don't think so, right? This is not actual class. This is like, the regular class only. Actual classes are started like, around 1 week back. The day one only we have the demo, and after that is an actual class only. Don't think that like, today onwards we will be learning something more or something big, nothing like that. Okay. Now, when I say about the inheritance, it is the process of acquiring the properties of one class into another, I can say. Inheritance is the process of acquiring the properties of one class into another class, that what I can say, that is what we call it as inheritance. That is what we call it as inheritance. Now, what is the purpose of the inheritance? What is the purpose of the inheritance? It is mainly used to extend the behavior of the application, and also used for reusability. So that means, just to take an example, I have a bank class. Okay, I have a bank class where my bank class is having, generally like every bank you can take, which comes with a deposit, and then we have what withdraw is available. Deposits and withdraw, these are the two things that definitely we should have. Now, when I create, let's say, maybe HDFC Bank, and there also we need to have like, the same things, right? Deposit is the one that is required, and followed with withdraw is also required for us. Suppose, let's say, here I have written 100 lines of code in order to implement the functionality, and for withdraw also I have written 100 lines of code in order to write the functionality. Now the same code is repeated one more time to HDFC Bank also, right? Tell me, same code, whatever we are having, is it repeated for the HDFC Bank? Now suppose, and additionally might be HDFC is providing some kind of vehicle loans or something. That is like, the individual functionality that we are having, where we have, let's say, 100 lines of the code. That's okay. But you see, whatever the functionalities the bank is having, same functionalities I supposed to have it in the HDFC also. And at the same time, if you can go with, let's say, an SBI bank, they're also the same thing. That means we have what? Deposits are very important, and then following with withdraw is important. And additionally, I'll be using maybe home loans. This is the new functionality where I'm going to write it in 80 lines. Okay. Are you able to follow me? Now, in this case, the first thing is going to be maintenance. Maintenance is overhead. Leave about like, the reusability. That is at like, the theoretical part only. But the major advantage with the inheritance concept is it's not only the reusability, maintenance also would be very easy if you can go with the inheritance. How it is going to be? Let's say I have my deposits, and for that one I have written some logic. Suppose the bank high level they changed the deposit implementation or deposit calculation part or withdraw calculation also if it was changed. Then how many places I supposed to change the code? Tell me. How many places? I supposed to change it in in this particular class, and in this particular class I have to change, and at the same time in this particular class also I have to change it. Am I right? So manual changes is not at all a good programming practice, because here the logic that we have created is not much reusable. So that maintenance also would be very difficult task for us. So how to overcome that? To overcome that, what I can do, I don't want to write these two methods over here. Rather, I can extend the behavior understand of HDFC Bank by inheriting from the bank class, so that whatever the functionalities we have written for one time, the same functionality you can access it in this class also. In the same way, maybe I can remove this one and I can extend this behavior maybe from HDFC or else maybe from the bank. If that is the case, now you see 2 times you need not to write the logic. That is the first advantage. And second advantage is going to be, suppose whenever if someone wants to modify the logic, one time if they can modify, then that will be impacted in all the places where we are going to access those methods. That is the main advantage. That means if we use inheritance, we can maintain the application. We can maintain the application easily. We can maintain that application easily. That is the main advantage that we are having. Understand? Application maintenance also would be very easy whenever if you can go with the inheritance concept. That is the main advantage that we are having. Now, how do we do that one? That means when it comes to the TypeScript, like how we can do that one. In TypeScript, to implement inheritance, we use a keyword that is extends keyword. We use the keyword that is the extends keyword. That here it is different, guys. Understand? Here it is going to be something different. So we use what? Extends keyword is very important here. That is how it is going to be. Now, how we can make use of it? Let me show you with an example. And before that, I'll open my Visual Studio Code. Now see, I'm closing this one. And then let us create a new TS file. And then I'm using inheritance.ts, that what I can give. The same class, maybe I can go with a class, and the class name is going to be employee, that what I have given. And my employee class is having yesterday we have created a couple of fields. Same way I created an employee ID, which is of type number, and then EMP name, which is of type string, I can say. And after that, we are having salary. So that basic salary, that what I am having, which is going to be of type number, that what I can give. That's it. And I created a constructor. Yesterday, anyhow, we discussed about how do we create the constructor also. I created a constructor where I'm going to have few properties. I'll have an ID, which is of type number. After that, name that I'm having, where it comes with the string type. And after that, salary, which is of type number, that what I can say. And here to this particular class members, I'm getting the data from the constructor and assign it over there. This dot emp name is equal to, I'll be using the name. And at the same time, this dot, the basic salary is equal to, we have the salary. That is how it is going to be. This is the basic class that what I have created it over there. And then followed with, we have the display function, as you might already aware of it. I'm directly writing very quickly. I'll use console.log. I'm using the backtick syntax. EMP ID is, let us give a dollar, and where I can give employee ID. And then I'll give a comma. EMP name is, I'll give a dollar where I can go with the employee name. And finally, salary is, I'm giving a dollar where I can give this dot salary, that what I can give. That's it. So this is how it is going to be. That means I have an employee class where my class is having a constructor. Like yesterday, we created the same. I'm not doing anything new here. Yesterday, whatever we have created, the same thing that what I am doing even here. And then I created a display function. Now, when I say about an employee, if you can take Naresh IT is having different employees. That means few people who are non-technical and few people who are technical, few people who are lecturer, and few people who are like, that admin, something like that, right? Now, you can take me, I'm also a part of Naresh IT, whatever it is, like part-time or full-time, but I'm working for Naresh IT only. Let's say I'm going to write something like, I'll have a class here, and my class is going to be trainer, that what I can give. Now, trainer is also an employee to the Naresh IT only, right? Trainer is also an employee to the Naresh IT. Suppose if someone asked me to give my information, I need to provide my employee ID. I have to give my employee name. I supposed to give my basic salary, and then I have to display it. That means all the implementation that I'm having for this employee class, that needs to be rewrite it in the trainer class. Understand? Additionally, trainer will deals with some subject so that I can give like, the subject information as well. If that is the case, the code is repeating here or not. Whatever the code I have written here, same code has to be written one more time to here. Additionally, what subject? Maybe I can say subject, that what I can take, which is of type string. And here also, let me have subject, that what I can give, which is of type string. And here also, this dot subject is equal to, I'll be using the subject. That's it. So this is how it is going to be. And I'm going to print the subject. But see, it is a minimal change. Then why should I rewrite the logic? Why should I rewrite the logic? Is it really necessary? The answer is no. It is not required. It is not required. Understood? It is not required. You need not to do that particular one. You need not to do that particular one. So then how we can do that one? Then how we can do that one? That is the reason where I'll go with what? Inheritance concept. Now, how do we do that inheritance concept? I told you already, inheritance in TypeScript, to implement the inheritance, we use a keyword, that is what keyword? Extends keyword. That means we use a keyword, that is the extends keyword. So how we can use it? I don't want to write like, the total logic here. Rather, I'll remove all the logic, and I'm going to get like, the logic which is available on my parent class by using extends. Understand? Class trainer extends. Okay. Extends what? Extends what? Employee. Class trainer extends what? Employee. That means the time when I'm using employee here, the time when I'm using employee here, automatically, I'm able to access all the members here. I'm able to access all the members here. Okay, Shrikant, additionally, what logic we wanted to implement? As I told you, just a simple thing, public subject that what I can give, which is of type string, and I'm taking a constructor, and through the constructor, I'm going to initialize the data. So how we can do that one? To do that one, okay, to do that one, what I can do, I'll be having a constructor. Now you can see the time when I'm creating a constructor, and I can give something like subject, which is of type string, it throws me an error. Now you can see it is giving me an error. What is that error? Constructors for the derived class must contain a super call. Must contain a super call. Now what does it mean? I hope in Java and C#.NET, you might heard about constructor chaining, right? You might heard about constructor chaining. Did anyone remember that? What exactly it is? Constructor chaining. We have the same concept in Java and .NET, C#.NET. That means calling the parent class constructor from the child class constructor. Calling the parent class constructor from the child class constructor is what we call it as a constructor chaining. Now, in regular programming, if it is required, then we can do that. That means if it is C# or else you might take Java. If there is a requirement, then only we can call. Otherwise, it is not required. But in TypeScript, if your parent class is having the constructor, again, I'm repeating, in TypeScript, if the parent class is having the constructor, then calling that constructor from the child class is mandatory. Okay, I'm writing that point here. In TypeScript, calling the parent class constructor from the child class with the help of super keyword is mandatory. That means here it is mandatory. You must have to call. You don't have any other option rather than that. That means you must have to call, like, the parent class constructor. Okay, fine, Shrikant. How do I call that parent class constructor? For that reason, what I can do is I'm going to create, like, total how many parameters are required? 3, so that I can get, like, these 3 parameters. Understand? I'm giving these 3 parameters here, and at the same time, I'm going to call a super here. I used what? Super. And now you see that time when I'm using the super here, you can see that time when I'm giving the super here, it is asked me to pass what? ID, name, and salary. I have anyhow ID, and I have the name, and I do have the salary. Like, all those things are available. I'm going to call. And additionally, 1 second, please. Cheppan Pawan. Pawan cheppu. Okay, now you see we have the display function. Sorry, I'm calling the super. That means super is something like what? It is an object of a parent class. Now you can see When I keep my mouse on there, then it is a constructor, and the constructor is of what type? Employee type here. Employee type here. Now, once if it is done, then what I can do? I'll go with this dot subject is equal to whatever the subject value we are having. I'm just giving it over there. That's it. Understood? Tell me. That means I'm going to call this particular one. In the same way, I'm going to write a function that is display function. I'm writing a function which is what? A display function here. Now, already if you can observe that the parent class is having the display function or not, tell me. Yes or no? The parent class is having the display function, and there we have some logic, and that logic also we just need it. We need that particular logic as well. So then, Srikant, what should we do? We don't need to write that. By using the same keyword, you are going to call that particular function. And this is what we call it as overriding. Overriding. Overriding means here it is not having, let's say, virtual keyword, override keyword. It is not something like that. Whenever, if there is a parent function which is already defined, we can call that parent functionality in the child class. Okay, child class. In the child class with the help of super keyword. And additionally, if you wanted to write any logic, you can do that. Now I am going to use something like console.log. Okay, subject is, I'm going to concatenate with the subject that what I can say, so that I can use this dot subject that what I can say. That's it. So this is how the inheritance is going to be. That means first you can observe that I created a class with the name an employee, and I have written some logic over there. And after that, we have what? Trainer class, which extends the employee. And the trainer is having its own functionality here. That is the subject. And there we are having what? Constructor. And after that, we have what? I'm doing what? Over. Here we don't have overloading. We don't have overloading. Yesterday already we discussed about it, right, Prasad? We don't have the overloading concept here. What I'm doing, whenever if I'm having, let's say, a base class display function and a derived class display function, always this point, I hope you might already aware of it. That means in inheritance, child class is having complete control. Child class is having complete control on parent class. But parent class is not having any control on child class, I can say. But parent class is not having any control on the child class, that what I can say. Understood? That means in inheritance, child class is having complete control on the parent class, but parent class is not having any control on the child class that we have. Clear na? So that is the reason when you try to create an object for the trainer class, you're able to access, like, if I'm not calling this one, now you can see, I'm just make a comment of it, and I'm creating an object here for the trainer class. So how we can do that? Where obj, which is of type, let's say, trainer is equal to new trainer, that what I can give. That time when I'm giving the trainer here, now you see it is asked me to pass total how many members? 4 members. It is asked me to pass what? 4. The first one is going to be the subject. Maybe I can give the subject as going to be Angular. Second one is that ID. Third one is the name, which is of type string. And the fourth one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that what I can do. And here, when I'm calling obj dot, we have the display function and save that application. Now you can see what happened. I'm going to run this particular one. I'll go with the new terminal window. Let's go to the command prompt from here. Understand? And here I'll be executing that one. Before that, what I can do? I'm using TSC space. What is the file name? Inheritance dot TS, I can say. Inheritance dot TS, I can say. When I'm giving inheritance dot TS, when I say about like you see here, there is an inheritance.js file is available. Now let me execute node space inheritance dot JS, I can say. Now what it is displaying here? It is displaying only the subject. Then Srikanth, do I need to write like, all these implementation here? Means no. Because like here, if it is one line, you can rewrite, that's okay. But if I'm having, let's say, 100 lines of the code, then is it really good practice to rewrite it again? No, right? So that is the reason what I can do. I'm going to call a base class functionality in the child class by using the super keyword. Now I'm just, you can see, let me compile it once. And once if the compilation is done, I'll just execute. Now you see what happened. We have what an employee ID, employee name, and salary that we are having. And after that, we have what a subject. Don't think just like, you see, I'm just coming to the new line. That is the reason where it is showing me employee ID. After that, in the new line, it is taking some space. That's it. Now you see employee ID, name and salary. So this is what all about the inheritance concept. Understand? That means to access the parent class members, to access the parent class members in child class. In child class, we use which keyword? Super keyword. We use what? Super keyword has to be used. Did you understood? Tell me. Yes or no? Right. So that is how it is going to be. Understand? A basic example. That means we will be extending further. Don't worry. But this is the basic example with respect to the inheritance. Now, what are the different types of inheritances are available? We have single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hybrid inheritance. Like that, we have different types of inheritances are available. And we will be understanding, that much inheritance is not required, practically speaking. Whatever is required, like we will be understanding with respect to the app development. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, leave that. Now, here, there is a new concept that what I am trying to explain you, that is access modifiers. Access modifiers. Now, what is meant by an access modifier? What is the purpose of an access modifier here? What is the purpose of an access modifier? Tell me. Very good. I can say that these are used to provide the access for the class and its members. Okay, access modifiers are mainly used to provide the access for the class and its members. That means, suppose I have some list of items that are available in my class. I don't want to give like all that items to the next class, or I don't want to give an access to, like, to outside of the child class or parent class or whatever it might be. Then at that time, you can go with the access modifier. And these are mainly used to, used to provide the security. These are mainly used to implement the security. The purpose of this one is going to be implement the security. Now here, when it comes to the access modifier, how many access modifiers are supported in TypeScript? In TypeScript, we have 3 types of access modifiers. We don't have like many, like suppose if you can take C#, we have 6 types of access modifiers. Public, private, yes, sir. Protected, okay. Protected, internal, like that we have different. Now when it comes to Java, we have public, private, default, like that we are having different. But when it comes to the TypeScript supports only 3 types. First one is the private, second one is going to be protected, and the third one is going to be public. That's it. So the first one is the private, second one is the protected, and third one is the public. Like that we are having only 3. Now here, public is the default one. That means if we don't have given, if we haven't given any access modifier, if you haven't given any access modifier, then by default, it is public only. That is the reason where you can see when it comes to this example part also, if you can observe that when I'm creating an object of obj, am I able to access everything, right? You can see I'm calling the display function, I'm calling the basic salary, which is available in employee class. I'm calling an employee ID, I'm calling an employee name, I'm calling the subject. Because am I specifying anything here? Tell me. Am I specifying anything here? Tell me. The answer is no, I'm not specifying anything here. So by default, if you are not giving anything here, then that is public. Suppose, just assume that I'm creating it as a private. I'm creating it as a private. That time when I'm giving it as private, now you can see obj dot. Am I able to access employee ID here? You see that when I'm trying to access employee ID is equal to 101. If I'm keeping my mouse on here, now you can see a property employee ID is private and only accessible within the class that is employee. Only it is accessible within that employee class. Understand? That means private members, I can say that here, if it is a private, we can access those members only within the class scope, I can say. Private members can be accessible only within the class scope, nothing apart from that one. Nothing apart from that one. Now, if it is a protected member, we can access only in the parent class and also in child class. That's it. You can access only in the parent class and also you can access it in the child class. Nowhere else you can. Understood? Nowhere else you can do that one. That means you can access it in the parent class or you can access it in the child class. That's it. Okay? Understood? But if it is going to be a public, we can access it in anywhere. That means these members can access anywhere, I can say. These members can access anywhere, I can say. No, for the class, you cannot give anything. Suppose, let's say, if I'm giving, let's say, private. Now you can see it will throw you an error. Private access modifier cannot appear on a module or a namespace elements. Directly you cannot give private here. Okay, Shrikant, can I give the public? Sorry, I'm sorry. Can I give the public here? When I give, let's say public, now again you see public modifier. Suppose let's say when I'm giving protected, now you can see protected also not, you can see protected modifier cannot appear. That means like the way how we have like, the Java classes or C#.NET classes, you cannot give that access modifier before the class name. Understand? That means access modifiers, I can write that point as well. Access modifiers can only given or assigned for access modifiers can only assign for class members only. Class members, not for the class. Class members in the sense what we are having. Inside the class members, what we are having, man? We have the property and we have what? Methods. That's it. We have the property and we have the method. Only for that you can give. And apart from that, nowhere you cannot give that particular access modifier. Understood what I am saying? So that is the reason where, suppose let's say, now it comes to here, when it comes to here, now you can see I'm able to access like, the display method with the help of super keyword here. Now let's say if I'll be writing private here, when I'm using the private, now you see we have an error. It won't allows you. Understand? It won't allows you. The property display is private and can be accessible only within the class. Now, Shrikant, then what I can do here? In this case, if you people wants to access only here, then you can give what? Protected. When I give the protected here, this member can be accessible only in the parent class, and at the same time from this parent, whatever the child class you have created, for that class only we are going to get it. Understand? So like that we are having three different types of access modifiers are available. One is going to be private. Now you can see private means we can access those members only within the class scope, nothing apart from that one. Second one is going to be what? Protected. Protected can access only in the parent class and child classes. And public, if you can give, you can access it in anywhere. And by default, understand, by default, whenever like, if you can have, if you are not giving any access modifier, by default, that is public only. Understood what I am saying? If you are not giving any access modifier, by default, that is public only that we have. So this is all about the access modifier. Access modifiers are mainly used to provide the access for the class and its members. For the class members, simply I can say. Okay. This is clear or not? Tell me. Okay. No. Default is not, no default. Why it is not used means then the same question you have to ask, like, Anders Hazelberg, Purnachandra. Why default is not supported means from one program to another program, we are not like, if everything is same, then why should we go with the TypeScript? I can directly use the Java to build that application, right? Or else I can use directly C#.NET to build that application. Why should we go with the JavaScript and all then? One language to another language, we have what? Different. Now you can see if it is someone asked me, Srikanth, if it is private, this is how. Now you can see if it is protected means you can access it in the parent class and you can access it in the child class. That's it. Okay, you can access it in the child class. That's it. Nothing apart from that. Sir, there is no any access modifier for the class. By default, no. Actually, in TypeScript, we have a concept of modules are there. I will just come to that point later, Prasad. I'll explain you like how do we work with the modules and all. Don't worry about that. Actually, like here we are not using public access modifier. We have like, that export and import statements are going to be used. That is very important that we will be understanding like mostly today is what? It's Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll close like, the TypeScript session. And then we will start Angular from Monday onwards. And one more thing, they shared like, the Google Classroom link. Hope you guys have taken, right? Pavan has given, just open your chat window. Pavan has shared the link, Google Classroom link. Today I'll upload like everything. Okay. Today I'll upload everything. So please join in this. Okay. Sir, share it again. Yeah, I just shared like, just now I shared. Guys, just now I shared. Okay. I'm sharing with you one more time. Just now I shared through the chat box. So please join over there. All days we'll upload videos, please, sir. Rajesh, I don't know whether you follow my sessions or not. That is not my responsibility. Okay. My responsibility is just to deliver the subject and share the examples. That's it. Okay. I don't want to answer such kind of questions from now onwards. Anyhow, I'll just upload everything, whatever we have discussed so far from these many days. Everything. I'll just give an overview as well after uploading. You can see. Okay. Now you see, they shared, just give me a minute. I'll upload everything, all the resources to you guys. Go invite. SIT classroom. Join. Class not found. Why it is? Just a minute, guys. There is a problem, I guess. batch 2, batch 3, 6, Angular 13, .NET full stack. Guys, just wait a minute. The link what they provided, I'm unable to join even. Maybe if in your case also it is not possible, it seems. Just give me a minute. అది లింక్ పనిచేయట్లేదు గూగుల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Maybe like they will upload it. I mean, just give me 1 minute. But anyhow, today, like it gets sorted out. You will be getting all the notes and everything. No, if I use like the link that what they provided, I also joined as the student. I cannot upload like anything over there. That is the reason there. If I'll be a co-teacher, then I can give some tasks also. Okay. Okay, the people like who haven't get the link, I'll just share it with you one more time. So just please join in that link. Okay. Please join in that link. Object-based language does not support the inheritance and polymorphism. Pavan చెప్పండి. అనిల్ నేను శ్రీకాంత్ ని .NET Guys, there is a small issue. The problem is everyone has joined like, before me. Okay, so that is the reason they wants to change the link. Just if you can give some time today, like you will be getting a new link and you please join over there. Everybody is eagerly waiting to get like, the notes, right? Notes, examples. Yeah. Just a minute. చూస్తున్నా.
On that one, faculty not added. Before the two students are added, 440. Yeah, that's been posted in group class itself. Okay, update in the group now. Okay.
One second. Yeah, I joined.
Yes, sir.
Now I can share the class.
Yes, sir. మీరు షేర్ చేసేయండి కొత్త లింక్ నేను అసలు అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను.
Sure then. Yes. Okay then. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay.
Guys, I have shared a new classroom code. You please join over there. Okay. Just now I have shared like, in the chat box. Please join there. And I'm uploading like, all the class notes that we have covered so far. First link, leave it. Second link, just now I have shared with you, right? That you can join. So far, what are all the examples we have covered? Like I am uploading all that examples as well in zip format. Okay, this is like in a separate post. Examples in TypeScript. I'll upload it. Full stack Angular. That's it. Demo class videos, I'll just ask the Pawan to paste it here. Maybe just give me a minute. I'll try. I checked with the demo videos, guys. So you will be getting from today onwards, like you will be getting like, the day to day. You don't need to worry about it. That means after the session, I'll upload like, the day notes and then followed with the examples. Yeah, I'll upload like, so till today, the recordings also. From tomorrow onwards, there is no recordings at all. So you please join like, from there. You please join from there only. But till today, whatever the recordings, I'll just give. File answer. Just download like, WinRAR software, man. WinRAR download. WinRAR 64-bit download. You can just download this one so that automatically you will be getting. Just to download this. This is the one. And also there is a permission related things, I guess. Maybe I don't think so. We have like, the complete permission. Yeah, maybe you can download that. Just what you can do is you can open and click on here, open in a new window. And from there, if you can go, then you will be getting the download button and then you can download it. Okay. You can download it. Yes, perfect. We have like, the recordings also. I'm going to share with you. Perfect. Google it. How to join, Google it. Okay. I've shared you like, the recording videos as well. So you please watch those videos, those who are joined like, a bit late. Don't need to go with the Naresh IT app, Kavya ma'am. Just open your Google Classroom and then you can join with the code. Now I'm just sharing you like, the code one more time. Those who are having any issues, just please do join with this. Okay, I'm sharing you like, the Google Classroom code one more time. You please join and do the practice by today. And if you have any doubts, just you can come and ask me in the next session. Okay. Nagamalleshwara, I'm not sure on that. Okay. I don't know about the app that what you people are using. You can try Sandeep, everyone like, if why it is not open, you can try, you can do a Google. Supported apps you can download and then you can extract it. That's it. Okay. Because like, I'm doing this activity not only for this class. You see, I have how many classes are there earlier. Same way that I am uploading, right? Everybody is able to download. Then definitely you also should able to download it. Just to do what? Do some R&D, man. We have Google, right? Ask the Google same question. Just that, see, it's a folder only. You can go to the folder. Just open the Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code you can open. And from the Visual Studio Code, you have the file and open the folder. And open the folder, like what folder you try to open. Select the folder. That's it. Okay. If you can give, then automatically it gets open. Sir, send all the notes including. Yeah, I have shared all the notes, man. You just check like, the complete notes, whatever we are having, I'm sharing all the notes. You people can access it. Complete notes is available. Okay. Coding examples also I have uploaded. Maybe you people have not followed me. That is where you're asking same question, like, for multiple times. I have uploaded like, the notes and then following with the examples I have uploaded and followed with the recordings till yesterday. It was uploaded. Okay. Notes is not open, man. You can copy paste it. You can just do a copy paste, select that and copy and keep it in your notepad or something. Okay. Yeah, that's it for the day. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.